Welcome to the College of Knowledge. This time, managing risk at 350 kilometers per hour. Lessons from the fast lane. With 3 decades of experience in the racing industry, working at the forefront of Formula One, he provides deep insights into risk management. Here is Mark Gallagher.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I work in Formula One. It's a pretty sexy, dynamic, exciting, glamorous sport. You might think the people who work in it are equally sexy, glamorous, dynamic, and exciting. None of them are available to join me today. They're all on the way back from the Mexican Grand Prix, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, especially if there are any Dutch people in the audience. Yeah, just one or three. Okay, so Formula One has been my industry since 1983 when I started working in it. And the thing about running a Formula One team, Formula One operation, is the degree to which everyone thinks that we focus on performance. And that's very true. Performance is an extremely important element of what we do. We're trying to design and manufacture and build a better product than our competition and to extract the best possible performance from that. So performance is as important to us as it is for any business out there. But here's the thing. The performance is as nothing if we are not equally managing the risks. And the risk management within our industry is pretty brutal because the outcomes when we get it wrong are potentially catastrophic. And if you think about businesses and the ultimate downsides of operations going wrong, the ultimate risks that can be involved in businesses, particularly today, in such a fast-changing environment in terms of business models, in terms of technology, in terms of customers, you get one thing badly wrong, and the outcome really can be your equivalent of the catastrophic outcomes that we get in Formula One. One of the things that we spend a great time doing in leadership roles in Formula One, therefore, is making sure that we have complete alignment amongst all of our people in what it is that we're actually trying to achieve. When someone comes to work for us, they imagine they're coming to work for a high-performing organization, an organization focused on winning, an organization, in the case of Formula One, focused on speed and technology and ultimate and high performance. And yet, when we look to our people, we want them to work together in a way where they take collective and individual responsibility for managing risk. In the same way that we can't rely on one person in our team to deliver everything for us, such as the driver, we can't expect one person to handle all the risks. It's collective responsibility to make sure that we have a bulletproof product and secure performance. If you think about the pit stops that we do, the pit stops involve 20 employees carrying out 36 different tasks under a huge amount of pressure and a huge performance target, which is to do it in 2 seconds. Now, we don't expect people to do that individually. We expect them to work together in a team. In 2 seconds, we can achieve massive performance. But actually, when you see a 2-second pit stop, think about the risk management that's going on there as well, because we have not just delivered 2 seconds of unbelievable high-performance teamwork, we've also delivered 2 seconds of extraordinary risk management. All the things that could go wrong amongst those 36 different tasks that we have to perform. So when people come to work for us at a team like Red Bull Racing, where I was very lucky to be on the management team, we inculcate into them a full understanding of what the key priorities of our businesses are, not only as regards those obvious targets in terms of growth and performance and speed and all the good things that you would expect us to look at, but also to get them aligned around the risks that are involved in what we do. the fact that some of those risks are potentially existential risks to our business, and that when we're looking for world-class performance from each and every one of them, we also demand world-class risk management for those systems and processes to protect our business, to be adhered to as rigidly and as successfully as the systems and processes designed to secure success. We also get people very aligned around the fact that the competition out there is all doing the same thing as us. They're trying to beat us on track. They're trying to outperform us. They're trying to gain competitive advantage. But think about the fact that if the competition are not managing the risks as well as us, therein lies an opportunity for our businesses. If we are better able to manage the risks more effectively and more consistently, how much better a chance do we then have of overcoming our competition whenever they have a gap in their armory, whenever they don't adhere to the risk management practices that are best in class, which we adopt. If you came with me to a team like Red Bull Racing, you would find 1,000 full-time staff designing and manufacturing and producing all of the technology that goes to create a Formula One product. We are integrating a complex technical solution. And when we integrate that complex technical solution, we're looking for marginal gains in terms of performance. And we also want to make sure that every single element that goes to making this possible does exactly what's required of it in a robust and reliable and high-quality way. All too often, people ask me to come and talk about innovation and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in terms of the technology, because that is something that we appear to be very good at doing in Formula One. And yet, if you really look at the innovations that we bring into the sport of Formula One, the thing that we're interested in is bringing in innovations which are high quality, robust, and reliable. Those really boring things are vitally important to us because we want to manage the risks. To finish first you have to finish. And therefore, getting that consistency in your delivery is all important. What happens when we get it wrong? And why is risk management so important to us? Well, if you think about all of the businesses that you work in or that we deal with around the world, and you think about some of the catastrophic incidents and outcomes that you've seen in businesses, very well-known businesses, even just in recent years. When the risks are not managed effectively, it can cause an existential crisis. In the case of Formula One, why risk management became so pivotal to us was that between 1950 and 1994, we as an industry managed to kill over 40 of the Formula One drivers who competed in our sport. That was basically working out at one a year. It's hard for younger generations to remember that, but one of the really important facets of risk management is developing a corporate memory. You know, people come and go in a business, but you have to have a corporate memory about why we do things today the way we do them, because if we don't have that corporate memory, people forget, and they quickly fall back into the practices that led to what we call the bad old days. The bad old days for us ended in 1994 with the death of Roland Ratzenberger and Ayrton Senna at the San Marino Grand Prix, a weekend on which we lost 2 people. When people talk to me about catastrophic outcomes in businesses, nothing can be more catastrophic than leads to a loss of life. We subsequently went through 20 years of not having a single further driver fatality. How did we go from 45 years of catastrophic outcomes to 20 years of almost perfect delivery in terms of risk management? It had to be to do with the way in which we learned how to embrace technology. In 2015, we lost a further driver, Our 20-year period of success in managing risk came to an end when we lost Jules Bianchi, a French Formula One driver, as a result of an accident at the Japanese Grand Prix the previous year. What happened to Jules emphasized to us more keenly than ever the fact that after 20 years of successfully managing the risks inherent in our business, the one word which we are most frightened of came back to bite us, and that is complacency. And whatever your operations and whatever your areas of risk management are, there is your biggest enemy. There is the thing waiting to happen. The more you pass those performance targets in terms of effectively managing risk, you have to believe the closer you are getting to the next catastrophic incident. And that's why we have to be vigilant in terms of approaching that in the right way. The lesson in Formula One is that our 20 years of successful risk management and our subsequent years of learning following the Bianchi accident is that the wisdom about risk management lies within the analysis of data. Data has transformed our ability to understand what went wrong in the past. We gather data from our Formula One machines real time on the track. We gather 80 gigabytes of data from a single car in a single Grand Prix weekend, multiple streams of data covering every facet of its performance. And this data acquisition has then driven data analysis within our business. If you come with me to a race, these are the people who are managing the risks and the performance as much as the person driving the car in the cockpit. Our data analysis technicians, the people looking at exactly how every facet of our performance is proceeding, looking for degradation in systems, looking for improvement opportunities, looking for anything that might lead to a negative outcome. Because we want guaranteed positive outcomes. And when you look at a guy like this, any of you recognize him? Max Verstappen, winner of yesterday's Mexican Grand Prix, the youngest ever winner in Formula One. Think about the risk management in relation to Max. A Generation Z Formula One driver. He came into Formula One at the age of 17 without a driving license. Everyone said Red Bull must be mad to have a 17-year-old teenager driving a Formula One car when he doesn't even pass a driving test. But being born in 1997 meant that from the age of 4.5 is important when you're 4. From the age of 4.5, he was not only racing go-karts, he was also racing computer games. He's familiar with connectivity. He's familiar with functionality. He's familiar with applications. He's familiar with the power of data. And when he got into his Formula One car for the first time as a teenager, and he looked at that steering wheel, he didn't see a steering wheel. He saw a device. He wants all those buttons replaced with an X, a cross, a triangle, and a square. It's just a PlayStation for the real world. And how we have managed to merge this human capital with our data-driven technology is to create virtual worlds. So if any of you sitting here today are wondering how a sport like Formula One can put all those risk management decisions in the hands of a 17-year-old, think about the fact that we don't train drivers in the real world anymore. We have merged the world of data and the world of human endeavor and created simulated environments like the Red Bull simulator in England, where Max can drive any track in the world, test any risk management scenario he wants in a risk-free environment, where he can understand how to make the decisions that will guarantee the outcomes that he is looking for and that we in the team are looking for, which is to win. Thank you.
The College of Knowledge. Tomorrow Conversations.